Hi, beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel. It's me, Kale Bell, and I'm excited today. Um, Today is a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. You hear my babies. Don't pay them no mind. Those are my boys, and they are playing, being children. So hopefully that doesn't interfere with what we're doing here. And yeah, so today I'm making an update video, and we're gonna say hi to the baby today. She is 2 weeks old. She was born September 13th at 9:54 a.m. She was 6 pounds and 5 ounces. So let me start. Okay. First, I'm gonna come back because I think I'm gonna have to shut some stuff down around here because they are super loud. So I'll be right back and I'm gonna give you the details. Okay, hopefully that worked a little bit. Okay, so on September the 12th, I went to LRC. From mild contractions, they weren't really consistent. They were like 9 to 14 minutes apart, to be honest. I went to LRC and I arrived at around 9:30. Okay, I know it was after 9 o'clock, so I'm going to say about 9:30. So I arrived at 9:30. I was monitored and I was laying on my side, and then my midwife came in and she was like, oh, baby's not acting right. And the baby had a dip set in her heart rate. So she was like, we may be keeping you. So, blah, 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 blah. And at the time, I was 37 weeks and 5, I believe. 37 and 5. So I'm like, oh, snap. I'm like, shoot, like, maybe I get to see my baby. I had just made a video saying that if I get to have my baby, I can't wait and all this stuff. So I'm laying there and I had this conversation with God. And I said, Father, she's ready. I know I'm ready. I said, please don't let me leave here without my baby. And literally about 6 minutes later, midwife came in and said, we're going to keep you. We're admitting you. So yay, call your husband. Let's get this thing started. So I called my husband and I told him, yay, we staying today. I was so excited. Y'all have no idea like how excited I was. Like I was just so excited and filled with joy. And so I let him know. And he was at home with a 2-year-old, and the other boys had just started school, so they were in school. And he made his way, called my mom, his mother. They're always there. They were there for the birth of all 3 of my boys. So they came to the hospital. So they moved me to my room. Let me slow down. They moved me to my own personal room, and I was just kind of chilling for a while. They had just gave me an IV. Give me some fluids and everything. For a couple hours, I was really just chilling. The labor hasn't really started. And mind you, at that time, I was still 2 centimeters dilated. So I had to go through the whole process at the hospital. So I had really, really beautiful nurses. I mean, it was such a wonderful experience at that point. So they told me, they came in and explained to me that I was going to be starting on the Pitocin and I was going to be induced and all this stuff. And they did start me on the Pitocin. They gave me a cervical catheter, a Foley, which actually helps open your cervix. It stretches your cervix up. And it is not a picnic. It was very uncomfortable, but it was cool. I'm like, okay, do what y'all gotta do. So they did that. They gave me the Pitocin, and they told me that I couldn't get my epidural until I was at least 4 centimeters dilated. So I waited a few hours, and my contractions were kind of steady, but they wasn't, where they wanted them to be. So they did give me my epidural because at that point I was about 4. I was 4 centimeters dilated. They gave me my epidural, which Thank you, Jesus, for that epidural. Hallelujah. I am not opposed at all to the epidural. I'm trying to tell you, I had it with all three, all four. I keep saying three, all four of my babies, and I love it. I love it, love it, love it. I can't say anything bad about it. The side effects that I kind of did experience were itching. Like I started itching all over, like my back and stomach and stuff, and you can't really scratch because you're kind of numb down below your waist area, and I'm like, I can't get to it because it's tape on your back from where they insert it through your spine. And I mean, that's not a picnic either, them putting it in your spine, but it's so worth it to me. And it's not that bad. It's just really, really uncomfortable pain. But it was cool. Like after that, I was just like, oh, chilling, man. I was chilling like a villain. I was hungry because I had not eaten anything that morning, so I was kind of starving. But so I'm laboring. Contractions kind of steady. Blah blah blah. So my what was I gonna say? My contractions had started to pick up, and they had me laboring on my sides. They started to pick up, and I'm feeling like this baby ready to pop out. So guess what? I'm only at 5 at this point. Come in and check me. You're at a 5. I'm dilating really slowly. Like hours are going by, you guys. The day's progressing. Hell, right now we're going into the next day. So it's after 12. So this is the morning of the 13th. After 12. And my doctor came in and she's like, well, you're not really dilating that fast. She's like, well, if you don't, if your dilation ceases, we're going to have to maybe give you an emergency C-section or, just different options. She was like, that's not a definite. She was just saying, that's a huge, possibility because you've kind of been at 5 for a while. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, Lord, I really don't want a C-section. I don't want them cutting on me. And I decided I'm not going to panic in this moment. Lord, I trust you. I'm not going to panic. And that was kind of that. But, they upped up the dose of Pitocin. I'm so sorry, my children. They upped up the dose of Pitocin, and I'll be right back. So they upped up the dose of Pitocin, and I kind of just laid there and labored through. And they gave me oxygen, and it was just a really restless moment. I was so exhausted. I ain't lying. I was exhausted and tired and just ready, okay? And after all that, the doctor came in and she checked me and she was like, okay, you're in a good 7, maybe 8. And she, how they play and not play with it, but they, put their hands in, they stretch it. She was just like, okay, no, she stretched about an 8. She was like, I'm going to have you push. God bless this doctor's heart. She had me push like 3 times, and then I was at complete. You push with each contraction. And from the pushing and the pain, the pressure, it was really a lot of pressure. I'm not going to say pain, because the epidural doesn't hide. It doesn't mask all the pain. It just kind of gives you comfort with the contractions a little bit. The pushing and everything, I was still able to feel because, they told me that, they want you to feel that part, So, excuse me, I'm so sorry. So I was pushing and I could feel this just extreme pressure down there. Oh my God. And it was just really, I honestly in that moment felt like it was unbearable. I'm like, oh God, I'm about to pass out. I'm like, Mom, please get my leg. Get my leg. Because they wanted me to hold my own legs. I'm a big girl. I can't hold my legs. My legs are huge. My thighs is the biggest thing on me. And I'm like, oh, I'm trying to listen to the doctor. She's like, breathe, and push with the contractions and everything. And then my mom finally came over. She got this leg. My husband had the other leg, like they always do with each baby. And so at this point, I was complete. And she's like, you know, I hear them opening up the stuff, and there's more people coming in, the doctors, and I'm like, oh God, it's about to happen. And in that moment, it was just like, oh God, what if she has a penis? I don't know why I would think that. It was just like, I only seen her little girl part one time, and I know it was like, you know, God and this faith and all that. That little bit of doubt kind of crept in on me, and I was like, oh God, what if she has a penis? Like, I got all this girl stuff. And, you know, it's like, push. You doing good, you doing awesome, blah, blah, blah. And then push. Here comes the head. I felt that pressure from that head, honey. Whew, and then the pressure from the shoulders, and that was all she wrote. And I heard, wah, and they put her little slimy self on me, and I was so in love all over again. I fell in love with her. She was slimy and covered in the vernix, and just, but and they like, she has all girl parts. And by the time they kind of cleaned her up, because, you know, they didn't give her a bath or anything right away. They say now they wait 8 hours, you know, to bathe the baby so the baby can retain the heat. But they let me bond with her after that. And I looked over right after, and both of our moms were crying. And I looked at him, and he was crying. I still haven't shed a tear. And I don't think it's, because I was very emotional, but I haven't shed a tear yet. It's still surreal to me that I have this little girl, you know, all these boys, and I finally have my daughter. You know, it is such a blessing, and it's awesome. It's an awesome, amazing feeling, and I am so blessed, and I am so happy. And I thank God for you all that watch, and I thank God for encouraging words. I thank God for um, just being able to share my stories and experiences with you guys. And I hate that I didn't catch it, you know, from the beginning, and, you know, at the hospital and all that. Those are precious moments, you know, if you could have been there. But just thinking about it now and kind of reliving this situation and the experiences, it was amazing. And I would not change anything about that day, because she was perfect. And she was perfect to me, and I was in love. And her father was in love, and he's still in love. Her brothers are in love. They adore the crap out of her. And my 2-year-old son, I thought I was going to have a problem with him, because I, you know, had problems with other boys. But the amazing thing was, he just stares at her, and he'll get up every morning and come in my room and get on my bed and just smile at her. And he'll point to her and say, the baby. And I say, yeah, it's your baby sister. And it's like, I don't feel any type of jealousy or any type of, and I'm not saying that may not come, but right now it is just so peaceful in my house. It's joy here, it's peace here, it's love here, and I thank God for just all of that. And so she stays asleep, okay? She sleeps all day, and she's up with me during the night. And but her name is Brea Denise, and she's 2 weeks old right now. So I thought I'd update you guys and let you know that we're well, and I'm sorry for the boobies. We're well, and all is well. So I thank God for you, and I love you. And please continue to watch. Bye.